Hi guys, this is Derek Crowley and Evelyn Crowley with Premier Martial Arts of Asheville. And so we're going live to you right now from an outdoor on location to go over our women's self-defense workshop material. This is totally free and we're recording this too so you can come back and watch it later as you need to. And so what we're going to start with is pretty simple. Is actually, and I've got my notes here, is a couple of stats. So in terms of violence, we all know that violence unfortunately is real. Now, there's a big difference between self-defense and violence. Violence is actively trying to hurt somebody. Self-defense is actively trying to not get hurt. So we're going to teach you about self-defense. Now, 1 in 7 women and 1 in 18 men had been stalked in their lifetime to the point that they felt fearful and believed that they or somebody close to them might be harmed. Right? So 1 in 7 women and 1 in 18 men had been stalked. 1 in 4 women and 1 in 7 men have been victims of severe physical violence in their lifetime. So 1 in 4 women and 1 in 7 men have been in some fashion victims of actual violence. 1 in 5 women and 1 in 71 men have been raped in their lifetime in the United States. And so, unfortunately, I sincerely hope that you've never experienced any of these things, but it's highly possible that you have. And so we're going to go over some stuff today that maybe some tactics and mindsets that will help. And if you've never had a bad thing happen, hey, it never hurts anybody to know a couple of things to do about it. So first of all, we're going to start with a couple of simple ideas. And one is your guard position. And so your base guard position is your hands are up like this. We call it a fence. And so as you can see Evelyn here, she's got her hands here. So if I'm the bad guy, I'm going to be the bad guy a lot today. And I go, hey, young lady. Right? So she's doing a couple of things perfect, right? One, she has her hands up. It's like, whoa, chill out, which is the same thing as your guard position, right? She can hit me pretty easy from here, and she's about to. But also, she's maintaining distance. If she lets me get, I'll go backwards to here. If she lets me get up here to talk to her, I can hit her before she could respond to it, before she could see it. So she needs to keep critical distance. Right, which is about where she is now. So I guess keeping that 6-foot rule will work out very well for self-defense. So next thing is our basic self-defense technique, which is palm strikes. And so a palm strike is where you hit the bad guy in the nose, but really in reality, hit straight out. That's all you got to do, straight out, pop, pow, and you've got your technique. So if I'm the bad guy, and I'm all, I'm bad guy stuff, I do bad guy things, and I take a step to her. If I take a step to her when she has told me not to, I am being combatant, right? So if she says stop, she can hit me now. I just stepped towards her, but she told me to stop, not get near her, and so now she has the right to hit me, okay? So, and you use that phrase, he was being combatant. And what that means is that person was trying to hit you, and the way you know is they step, they keep moving towards you, even if they're like, oh, come on, and they're saying disarming things. Ignore what the bad guy says. It doesn't matter what they say. The bad guy is intentionally going to say things designed to get you off guard. That's part of the whole bad guy thing. That's why they're bad guys, is they do bad guy stuff. So they're going to sound very charming, possibly. So again, maintaining distance. I'm evil Steph. Hey, look, evilness. Evil.
Stop.
Oh, come on, it's okay. Bam. And she's popped me in the head, and she's going to take off. Of course, right now she's going to stand like this and say, I'm waiting for my next instruction. But in reality, she's gone, right? So, oh, hello, excellent, glad you're here. And so, anyways, that's one. So take a second, just practice some of those 2 pumps. You're like, whoa, calm down, bro. Bam, bam. And you're hitting. Remember, I don't want to hit people, but if you have to, do it with malice in your heart and halitosis on your breath. What I mean by that is be aggressive. My papers are going away. Oh, thank you. Be aggressive. So whenever you have to hit somebody, don't halfway do it. Be all in. And so I had some notes over there. It's a little windy out here. That's okay. All right, so now for our next thing I want to point out is something I already said, is that you have the right to defend yourself. Nobody has the right to harm you. Nobody has the right to do mean things to you. You are a valuable human being. You're good enough. You're worth it. Okay? You're worth defending. And so if somebody attempts to do you bodily harm, don't let them. I realize that we're all, to be honest, especially women, are taught to be passive, are taught to, not hit people in the face. I am giving you permission to, whenever an evil bad guy tries to do evil bad guy stuff to you, blast them, right? They don't have that right to do that. So next thing I want to go over is our next target, which is the groin. And so, it's a cliche for a reason. You want to drop a guy fast, hit him in the nuts. Works out really well. Anybody who tells you that it doesn't work is up to something. So it's pretty simple. Now, she doesn't have to wait until I get into arm's reach. I'm a lot bigger than she is. I'm standing downhill and I'm still taller than she is. So if I'm doing this, hey there, get me, hit you. Boom. I'm out of here. What if I get a hold of her and she can't punch? She can knee me, right? So if I'm struggling with her, boom. She knees me in the crotch 4 or 5 times. That guy's dropping. And then she runs away. So using your knees, using your kicks are very, very effective tools, and they're very, very simple. You don't have to be an Olympiad to be able to knee somebody in the crotch. So think about that. So palms, wham, and knees. So now, today what we're going to work on here. Oh, good job. Let me grab my notes again to make sure. It's a good job because she put a piece of tree bark on the thing so they wouldn't fly away. It's a good job. Right, for self-defense. So the first thing I want to talk about is mindset. Is you have to be mentally prepared, right? Mentally prepared to defend yourself. Now, this is different than being paranoid. I'm not suggesting you walk around the mall like this. Don't be a weirdo, but pay attention, right? So the way that you do this is that you train. You train mindset. You train paying attention. You train being aware. And what that means is that you'll then have the ability to avoid situations that could be avoided. You're walking to the park, like we're about to do, and there's some skeevy-looking dude. Well, if you're paying attention, don't walk past the skeevy-looking dude. Take a different route. Problem solved. But what if you're looking at your phone, but you don't know what's going on around you? That's no good. That's no good at all. So it's very important that you pay attention to what's happening around you, and so that way, you have the right mindset. That way you can avoid bad situations before they become bad situations, right? And so next is never be moved. And so there's 2 kinds of criminals that exist. One is a process criminal and 2 is a resource criminal. So a resource criminal wants your stuff, right? So they break into your house when they know you're not there. They want, that kind of thing. A process criminal is the one who wants to do the process of the crime, and they're the ones that end up doing the really bad guy stuff. So don't be moved, right? And what that means is there's crime scene A and crime scene B. Crime scene A is the scene of an abduction. Crime scene B is where all the Dexter stuff takes place, all the evil bad guy things. And so that's why something like a wrist grab seems like a fairly innocuous thing, but that person's trying to move you. That person's trying to get you or someone where they can do some really bad stuff. So as you saw what Evelyn just did, she just elbowed, and then she's probably going to kick my knee or something like that if she has to, right, to create space and get distance. But just that elbow release is very simple. I'm a lot stronger than she is, and she can do that just fine. For whatever reason, there's a lot more traffic today on this Saturday than there usually is. I don't know what's up with that. I guess everybody's stuck being home. So now, next, verbal boundary. We already talked about this, but use your words. So if I'm the evil bad guy, and I walk over to Evelyn, I go, hey, excuse me, miss, do you have a, do you I don't know, can I have $5?
Please go away.
Okay. Right, so one, she just left, told me to go away, and she left. Didn't bother being polite. Don't waste your time with that. She also will tell me to stop, right? So, like, hey, little girl, can I?
Whoa, stop. Go away.
If I go away, everything is spiffy. But you notice that she was ready to jack me up. So if I had gone towards her, after she told me to stop, she's going to light me up. She's going to kick me in the nuts and then palm me in the face. Hopefully for pretend as we practice today, but not in reality. So next is be aware of your strengths and weaknesses. Be aware of what you are capable of and then work towards those things, right? So if you're not one who can do a jump spinning hook kick, you probably shouldn't try to do a jump spinning hook kick on somebody. Next is, again, pay attention. Work on making sure you're staying aware of what's happening around you so you can see what's happening in time. Paying attention. And next, have a survival mindset. That means do not give up. If you're awake, you are in the fight. If you're in pain, I understand, but if you're awake, you're in the fight, and you can deal with the pain later. Right now, you got work to do. You got business to take care of. And so, so now, we already went over our palm strikes. Next, I want to go over a finger strike to the eyes. So you just stick your hand out, kind of like a claw. And the reason you would do this, it's just like the palm, only you do that. You're not going to do this, right, or this, because it's too easy to miss. Like if I was going to poke her in the eye, she just turns her head naturally, kind of like, and I'm not going to hit her. So that. So she does it to me. Stevie, miss. Oh, no. And then she kicks me in the nuts to pretend. And problem solved. So your palm and your finger thrusts all lead into your knee and your kick, right? So that's a pretty important aspect of what we're going to do in our self-defense ideas. Very simple. Anybody can do that, but we can work it into our thought process, right? And so now, next, we do that one. Okay. All right, and so I want to go over a couple of self-defense techniques that work out really, really well. The first one is if someone's trying to hit you, the best defense is to hit them first. So if her hands are already up, I'm like, come on, little girl, she just hits me. Like, boom, boom, and then she's got her kick, and then I'm done. What if I get that punch off more? Her hands being up, her guard's already up, right? So if I'm here and I get the kick off, or punch off more, that's already up, and she's already hitting me, and she's gonna just go a rat tat. She's gonna do a lot of punches. So go ahead and don't actually punch me because I'm old and I'll cry. I don't want to cry in front of all these people, but go ahead and do a whole thing like a jab cross kick or something. So I'm all boom, boom, and then bam. And then she creates space and is gone, right? So that's the main way we want to deal with somebody trying to punch you. So how we do it is that your hands are already up. You've got a block there. You've got a block there. You've got a block there, right? You can hit. You can knee. You can block. You can hit, right? So just how would you naturally defend if your hands were up and someone was trying to hit you? That is a very good defense, right? So if she's hitting me in the head, and I go, ugh. Oh look, it worked pretty well. Boom, boom, ha. Only I was supposed to be the bad guy. I'll be the bad guy. So she's like this, and I go, boom. I didn't hit her. Now she's, boom. Now she's hitting me, right? Always going for the eyes and the crotch. So that's an idea there. So keep that in mind. Now, next thing. After we've dealt with somebody trying to hit you, what about someone trying to grab you, right? So let's start with just a two-hand choke. Boom, and pop, and then she gets me a lot. Good. So notice a couple of things have happened here. One is whenever I grab her, what she's really worried about is my thumbs digging in here and killing her. So I'm not passively doing the choke. I would be like that. So one, she needs to pluck this off and get my hand off of her neck. So if we do it start over again, so she does the pluck. She grabs the thenar eminence, the base of my thumb, and she pins it here. If my hand goes away, I can pull it out and hit her. So she's going to pin that to the top of her chest. Boom. So now I can't get my hand back. It might move her, but so what? Notice that she's also pinned this arm down, and now she's going to elbow me in the face for pretend. Boom. And kick, and then she's gone. So she's doing two things at once. Both thumbs are there, so she's plucking one. This one, her hand goes up here first, you notice? Because she's guarding against what if this hand gets out. And then she elbows down and out, and then doing however she wants to do it. So one more time. We pin, and then elbow, boom, bam, and then pop. So let's do that together, you guys watching on the YouTube, or on YouTube or on the Facebooks. So, two-hand choke. Your hands are up, acting like you're scared because you're going to be scared. Hook the base of the thumb with a thumbless hook. You notice that she didn't grab, it doesn't work, it's a hook. Pop it down, elbows tight. At the same time, your other hand goes up to your ear. Rotate your body elbow straight down, and then you beat on them however you would like to, just whatever makes you feel special and like a wonderful person on the inside. And then you take off, just like Evelyn just did. So let's do this again. So if I evilly go, evil, boom, bam, pow, and she's gone, right? So two-hand choke defense. What if we do this and she's pinned against a wall? So if I go here, boom, nothing changes. Now I went a bit off to the side so you can see, hopefully it worked out. But nothing changes if she's against the wall. And that's ideal, is that if we want to have our techniques cover as much ground as possible. So if you have a different technique for this kind of choke and that kind of choke and pinned against a wall and blah, 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 if it's a different technique, you have to mentally access that, and that takes too much time. You know, we don't want to get the blue circle of death while someone's trying to myrtleize you. So, but it's the same technique. So if I go, boom, pow, break, and pop, same technique, nothing different about it. Now, I personally, I'm kind of a big guy. I like against the wall to do that technique, hit somebody and slam their face against the wall and hit. But I'm big enough I can probably do that. She's not, so she didn't try that thing, right? So my point with that is that the combatives you use and the attacks and defenses you use are kind of up to you, what you think you can do. But remember, she doesn't have to overpower me. She has to overpower the tip of my nose. She has to overpower my eyeball. She has to overpower my groin. She has to overpower my throat. She has to overpower with her whole body one small specific area, right? So it doesn't matter how big I am. It matters if I can take that knee to the crotch, which I cannot. I don't care what they said on TV. So next is, if we have that, next thing I want to talk about is looking at my handy dandy chart here. Is next is being aware of your surroundings. And so part of the issue with self-defense is people just kind of go about their day and they're not paying attention to anything around them. And that's perfectly normal and natural, but we want to pay attention. Now, not only will you be able to recognize an evil bad guy who's about to do evil bad guy stuff, but also you have a good chance of seeing something cool too. Like right now, there's a whole bunch of birds flying around, and it's kind of cool. We've got a little cardinal over there trying to get in my car. So anyway, you see cool stuff too. So you're just paying attention, you're being mindful and seeing what's around you, and you're able to avoid bad things or deal with them as needed. And you also are able to see cool things too, and that's all right. That's all right. So you can also use something that we use in our kids programs that we call the color code of awareness. And so you might have condition white is the person is not paying attention. Condition yellow is you're paying attention, but there's no problems, right? Condition orange is you're paying attention. There's something that could be a problem, but you can avoid it, and no problem. Condition red is trouble is on you, and you got to deal with it, right? So you can kind of categorize things. And I've seen different variations of that color code of awareness, just depending on how people want to do it. But it's the concept that's significant. And so, so next is don't be easily distracted. And what I mean by that is it's not uncommon at all for a person to walk up and talk to you in front of you while somebody else comes up and does stuff. Maybe picks your pocket, maybe just, grabs you and slams you into an alley. So pay attention to what's happening around you. If a stranger walks up to you, or somebody you don't know, like you're in a city or whatever, and someone just walks up to you, it's time to have your head in the swivel. Behind that person, right? So if she walks up to me and asks me for $5,
$5, please.
I may or may not give her $5. In fact, for me, I probably would. But I still have my head on the swivel, so I'm looking around, yeah, man. I'm looking for her friends, because I don't know who all's there. And I also would attempt to keep more space, but I'm trying to stay on camera. So anyway, we want to keep our personal space too. So don't be easily distracted. Next is look people in the eye. So if I was an evil bad guy and I'm attacking Evelyn, or I'm thinking about attacking Evelyn, she looks at me like that, I know she's on to me. I know she's into it. And so there's a very good chance that that would make me want to go on to another bad guy. So in fact, for example, the Boston Strangler, there was one survivor of the Boston Strangler, and she was a fairly petite woman, is my understanding. And the Boston Strangler was like 6'4", 220. He was a big guy, and he had some military training. He knew how to fight. But she survived because she fought back, and she was too much trouble. So he kept on went and killed somebody else that night, which is horrible. But she survived because she fought. And what if somebody intends to do bad guy stuff, and I walk up and she just eyeballs me? Well, I might just go find somebody easier to pick on. And so that can be an effective tactic. And so next one is what do rapists and bad guys look for? Basically, they look for somebody that appears to not have self-confidence and somebody who will not be missed. So whenever I was younger, they used to teach things like don't dress provocatively if you're a woman because you'll attract. That's nonsense. What attracts bad guys is somebody who looks weak, somebody who looks like they could be attacked and taken advantage of. And so if you carry yourself with confidence, and if you make eye contact with people, and you look like you know where you're going, you're less of a good target, and you're less likely to be the person who's attacked. And so a lot of it is more to do with body posture and how you carry yourself. What you're wearing is less of a factor. And so next one is our next technique is, what if she has the opportunity to do what's called a web strike? A web strike is where she punches me with the web here. So again, hitting vital targets. So we did nose, eyes, throat, groin, right? So this would be where if I'm all like, boom, she hits me right there. And I go, and then maybe she kicks me in the nuts, or stomps my knee out, stuff like that. I think you should do more hitting in the groin, right? But I just grab her and boom, and I'm done. I'm done. Pop. Remember, malice in your heart and halitosis on your breath. So we can practice those things. Let's do that for a second. Palms, palm, 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 right? Finger thrust. Same as a palm, you just have a bit more of that idea instead of that idea. What if you were trying to do a palm and you accidentally finger thrust the bad guy? Whoops. Right? Then web strike. Thing like that. Boom, bam, boom, bam, boom, bam. So palm, palm, fingers, fingers, neck, neck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Knee. Good. Now, the difference between a knee and a front kick is range. That's all. How far away you are. It's the same thing. You can do a knee, preferably to the groin, but what if you miss a little bit? Doesn't matter. It's a very effective technique. So we have those. Next thing I want to go over is, what if I'm behind her and I do the same choke from behind? So she's going to do the same technique and hit me however she sees fit and create space. Now, the reason that we want our technique to be the same in the front and the back, here to the front, here to the back, is there are a lot of, I've seen numerous techniques you can do, but the problem is, can you do them under stress, right? Whenever you think you're going to die, and your sympathetic nervous system and parasympathetic nervous system are firing at the same time, and you probably peed your pants and it's rough, right? You lose fine motor skill. So a common one that's taught is, if you do the choke to me, is, can I do a pluck and then do whatever? Or can I do a two-hand thing, slip out the back, do a break, do a wrist throw? Those are pretty. Problem is, we find that whenever we start adding in stress drills, then people go here and they don't go to the back. And so the more stress we add in, that motion doesn't happen, this motion does. And so I've discovered it's really better to not bother with that one. And we're just going to go with this or this. So whenever she's facing that way, if I grab here, she's going to turn, look me in the eye, and hit me a lot. Boom, yeah. And of course, she wants to do punches and stuff because she's been training since she was 5. But palm, palm, web strike, finger gouge, right? We can do all those things. It doesn't matter. So what if, because this is the same technique, what if I slam her against a wall for pretend? So I go, ugh, bam, and now she does the same technique. It doesn't need to change, right? And we don't want techniques that have to change. It's the same thing. Bicep to the ear, rotate, elbow down, hit him in the front. Bicep to the ear, rotate, hit down, hit him from behind. It's the exact same technique. It doesn't change, right? So again, if she's facing that way and I go, boom, bam, rotate, and then she hits me a lot. Now, one thing she's doing really well that I forgot to mention is you notice that no matter what I do, she's getting her hands up first, right? So if I get my hands on her from behind, she didn't know I was there, she's surprised. So she's not going, okay, he's going to sneak up behind me and attack me now. Then I'm going to do my spinning arm block thingy, shoulder breaks. No. She's thinking, I think I want to get the Belgian dark chocolate ice cream today. And she gets grabbed, so she has to process that, which will take actually about 4 seconds if she's unaware and prepared. So if she's facing that way, the first thing she does is boom, her hands come up, right? We want to condition that in ourselves. Boom, her hands come up. She hasn't even processed yet what exactly I'm doing. And then I slam her. Well, awesome. She's guarded her face and didn't break her face off. And then she's got time to do her technique, right? To hit me and do mean things. So it for all the techniques, we go to here first, because first of all, you're stopping getting hit by whatever's next, and it gives you a second to process what's happening and be in a good defensible position. Just like that. That's it. Boom. Now, next thing is, what if we do against the wall, but instead of choking her, what if maybe I grabbed her and slammed her against the wall, and I'm going to punch her, whoa, and then she's going to keep going. Right, knees, elbows, hammer, fist, palms. It's the same technique. It's that. Same thing. But she's going to attack where my elbow is. Can you do fancier stuff for this? Probably. But we don't need to. This works great. It's the same thing. Also, if I'm going to hit her with this hand, I can't. And then she didn't, very good. She didn't even get the arm bar, right? She cleared my arm off of her. My arm was here, but I'm sideways to her, and so she's punching me and kneeing me in the face and stuff like that. She doesn't have to get a fancy armbar technique, right? She doesn't have to. You can do it to me, you be the bad guy. She doesn't have to go, I'm going to go here, then do this, and then do this, and see how cool that is. Then I'm going to spin. Woo! Aha! Do a lock here. Those are fun, and they're great coordination sets, but for real-world self-defense, we need simpler things that we can go bam, and we're gone, right? So there's a difference between martial art, which I love, and just blast and self-defense. And right now we need to think about blast and self-defense. And that's what she's doing really well. She can do both. Don't tell her I said that, but she's getting pretty good. And then, now what? Bam, knee me in the face, push me over, punch me in the head, and she's gone, right? What if, and this is hypothetical, I do the same thing from behind? What if she's facing that way, and I go, boom, and I slam her against a wall? She does the same technique. She rotates, treats it like a rear choke. Right, simple enough. Now, what if she guesses wrong and doesn't clear my elbow but goes the other way? If I'm here, boom, she guesses wrong, turns in. Well, now she's inside of me. She has to worry about this hand, but she turned here. So she's protected anyway, and then she's doing whatever strikes she wants to do. So it's not as desirable, but it also is still just fine. Still just fine. So all we're doing is we're playing with different ways that we do that technique. It doesn't change. Whether it's front, back, against a wall, whatever. Doesn't matter. Right? Same technique. So now, let me grab a thing here. We're going to go over a couple other things here too in just a minute. But I wanted to go over... That's okay. Now, we have something, this is what we usually give out in our live women's self-defense workshops. And so, I don't know who's watching, but some of you may even have one of these. But there's something I wanted to go over. Let me see here. Oh, right. They're out of order. That's okay. That's okay. They blew across the floor, as you may recall. Let me see if I can get... There we go. All right, and so also on here is Be Car Smart, and my car is right there behind us. And in just a few minutes, we're going to rotate around and work on some car things because it's easy to do right now. We're just in my driveway. But I wanted to go over some pins, which are pre-incident indicators. And so one of them, these are things that somebody might say that are weird, that are red flags to you need to defend yourself, create space, and that kind of stuff. One is forced teaming. What it says here, when someone tries to pretend that he has something in common or is in the same predicament when they're not. Let me help you with those bags of groceries. We don't want to let that ice cream melt. There is nobody that doesn't work at the grocery store that's going to walk up to you and help you carry groceries. No, that doesn't happen. Someone who's being charming. Being polite and nice to manipulate somebody. I can't let you carry those grocery bags all by yourself. Let me help you get those inside. What? No. Now, something we tell kids in our kids' self-defense classes is something very simple. No adult ever needs their kids' help. Now, believe it or not, I'm also a parent. And she's my daughter. And whenever a parent has their kid help at home, as you guys know, it's because you're trying to train the kid. They're going to do a terrible job, and it'd be so much easier just to do it yourself. But you got to teach them how to adult. So that's why kids get asked to do stuff at home, as you and I both know, so they can learn how to do stuff. But if the kid's out at the playground or wherever, and some adult walks up to him and says, "Excuse me, could you help me with whatever?" Whoa. Absolutely not. There is nothing that an adult needs a kid's help with. They just don't. So, oh man, my thing blew up. Yeah, could you get that, please? And so, see, I'm her dad, and I'm helping her figure out how to. Never mind. How to not have papers fly away. And so, let me go. All right. Somebody who has too many details in their story. So, I'm going to your floor anyway, and I'm going to meet a friend, but I'm running late. My watch stopped working, so we need to hurry. Come on. Oh, and we have a hungry cat waiting for your cat food, so we gotta. What? No, man. So too much detail is a bad thing. They're making stuff up. They're lying. So typecasting is also one that people do as a pin. There is such a thing as being too proud. Now, stop being silly and hand me your grocery bag. No, kick that guy in the nuts. First of all, for being a sexist jerk, and second of all, for being a bad guy. Next, loan sharking. I'll carry your groceries up 4 flights of stairs, but you gotta let me put them on the counter. So, what? No. Are you crazy? An unsolicited promise. Somebody says, "You can leave the door open. I'll leave as soon as I put the bags down, I promise." What are we promising for? I had a guy walk up to me at Ingles parking lot one day, and he goes, "I'm not going to hurt you, I promise." Where'd that come from? Who said anything about anybody hurting anybody? What are you making promises for? So I walked away because I thought he was promising he was going to hurt me. Somebody who discounts the word no. So if you say, "No, I'm good," and they go, No. Really? In my opinion, whenever somebody discounts the word no, and you're creating space and you're saying, "Dude, you got to go away." No, go away. And they keep coming towards you, they have now become an enemy combatant. Blast them. Hit them. Because that person clearly has no good intentions of any kind. And so, okay, so there's that. So those are some pre-incident indicators, some things a bad guy might say, and that is by no means an exhaustive list, but what you're doing is you're looking for something suspicious. You're looking for something that's just weird. And then also, go with your gut. If someone seems like a weird person, they're a weird person. You don't need that person. And so, remember, keeping distance. Dude, you get 6 feet away from me. If they don't, great. Hit them, then leave. Next. Let's go into some weapon stuff. So this is a practice knife. And in fact, this is one that was made by one of my good friends, Ken Brayman. You can buy them on Amazon. They're actually really cool. I quite like them. But anyway, so let's go over some foundation knife defense stuff. So first, in terms of knives, and we're going to kind of do our same against the wall idea. There's knife threats and knife assaults. They're different things. And so we teach knife assault survival, right, where the bad guy walks up and they're working like a sewing machine needle. There is no fast, awesome, sexy technique that works against that. You got to fight, and that's what happens there. And we're not going to go over that today. That'll be for a different workshop. Today I want to go over, sort of in keeping with our theme of somebody grabbing you and then also against the wall, what if it's a knife threat and they've already gotten in close? So you've already kind of screwed up and they've got a hold of you. Here. Boom. Ow. The knife. Boom. Kind of the thing. So let's go over what she did. You notice that it's that same plucking concept. It's really the same technique. So I have the knife against the side of her head and I'm grabbing her here. So one is that if she moves me, so let's say she like kicks me in the nuts, boom, she died. What if she punches me in the face? Boom, she died. What if she just tries to grab the knife with both hands? She died, right? So if she does something to move me back, that gets pulled there. If she does something that makes me do this, it gets pulled there. Now remember, I won't even think about that as the bad guy. If you had an ice cream cone in your hand and someone says, give me your ice cream, what are you going to do? Just pull your arm back. It's human nature is what we do. So she might get herself killed without even thinking about it. And the thing is, we'll come to this in a second, what they used to teach in Croft was that it's not going to work because people have bent their arms. They forgot that people have elbows. Elbows are pretty cool. We got to watch out for them. So what she has to do is distract me, make me blink. So while I blink, she does the pluck. Notice that she has my arm pinned against her body because I'm going to still pull it back, but I don't have control of the knife. If she does a wrist flex and it's away from her body, I get the knife. She wants the surface area of having it pinned, so even if I can move her, I still can't get control of this while she's hitting me. So if we're here, I blink, boom, bam, out, and then she ticks. Right, and in this case, I'd probably do take away. I'd probably boom, boom, take away, then hit. Even though the acronym is RCAT, redirect, control, attack, take away. So she did it right. I'm just mouthing off. So one more time. Eva, give me, ow, boom, and then she hits me, boom, right? Well, now let's do it where I'm going to try to pull the knife away without breaking my wrist when she has my arm pinned. So here we go. Give me the cash. Right, so keep hitting me, right? Oh, ow, ouchie, ow. Right, so I couldn't get good enough control of it. And that's not bad. That's not bad. Now, is this a surefire, when it works every time technique? No such thing. But it's better than a lot of stuff. Now, what if it's the same thing pinned against a wall? Notice that I can have my hand here or not, and it doesn't really matter. But if we're here, same thing, right? Take away, boom. Right? It doesn't change. It's the exact same technique. And again, we want that. We want it to be the same thing all the time. Notice how she's running away every time. If we were being more official, we'd toss the knife on the ground every time. So, get against the wall, boom, ow, boom. Right. And she'll do that fast with malice in her heart and halitosis on her breath. So that's the knife on one side, right? So if you have the knife and you put it here, so what she just did, boom, 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 pow, it's simple enough, right? So what if it's on this side? You do it. Remember this one? Let's rotate. All right, so if I've got the knife here, boom, take away, pow. Just a good old-fashioned armbar. And so, as we do this one, come over here a little bit, key features are one, her hands are already up, right? She just grabs that, and with this foot she steps in front of me, folds her elbow over like that. Now make sure you're sideways, not your back to me. And then she can do her takeaway, she can hit me a lot, that kind of thing. Now, one of the things to think about is, let's go over here, is that in a lot of classical martial arts like judo and that kind of stuff, like whenever I was a kid, is that they would roll and put their back to the person here. And the reason they would do that is that they're making it a takedown to drop on the ground. And that works fine, but it doesn't work fine in this situation. Because what will happen if you turn your back, if you step and you're all the way through, like you do in judo and jiu-jitsu, is that when that goes here, whenever I get here, just bend your elbow down, and I don't have good enough control of the knife, right? So she's too fast with that. And the problem with a knife is you can do a lot of damage without a lot of power. So it's very important, like she did correctly, is to step through. Step through. So now pull your arm out. She can't. Boom. Pop that. Whatever you're gonna do. So just a thought. And she did that right. Wait, I'm the bad guy. Give me that. I'm gonna take my bad guy knife. I'm evil. So I'm across the neck. Boom. She steps through. Ouchies.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay, it's good. Boom, hits me, and is gone. What if, and this is hypothetical, I have the knife and I pin her against the wall. So if we're here, give me the kiss. Same technique, just a good old-fashioned arm bar, and that's it. And she's gone. So we have those. Well, now, since we have some of those ideas, so now, let's just for fun, let's go into some of our pistol defense stuff. Now, this is called a blue gun. It's just a big chunk of plastic shaped like a glove. And what we're going to do with it is, I'm going to be a bad guy. We're going to go over just a basic, a foundation gun defense technique, right? And so here we go. So if I point the gun at her, she's going to redirect, control, rotate, pull, hit me a lot, and leave. You notice that she's going to use the gun as a mechanical weapon, and she's going to punch me with the barrel of it. Something to keep in mind is that you don't point this part at you. So if I hit her like this, like they talk about on TV a lot, look where it's pointed. That's not going to work out super awesome for me. So if she just did perfectly, you got me? You've got no, boom, bam, redirect, tap and racket, and you're creating space, right? So the gun is here. So one, my hands are here. My hands are not going to be here because whatever I do, she sees it. Way, buddy. I don't move that way. Not when I'm scared. No, don't hurt me. I don't want to die. Boom. It's one. 2, 3, 4, 5. Rotate, tap rack, create space. Right, so she'll do it again here. Give me the cash. Right, boom, bam. Right. So redirect. So step one, as you know that she did very well, is get out of the way of the bullet. You're the bad guy. Bad guy. You're wearing black, not me.
You are too.
So if I do it here, I died. I need to get over here. And the way I did it is, you can't see it very well, but the hand I moved out, I rotated that heel just like I was doing a hook punch. My heel's rotated. Now the reason I'll rotate my heel is because I'm going to kick you, but that's a different thing. So from here, boom, yeah, do it, shoot me, because that would suck. Boom, I'm here. I go under, I grab where the hammer is, and I'll do a finger disarm. I'm going to rotate, pull. If we go the other direction, let's go over here. It's a thumb disarm, but it's the same thing. Right? So if I go with this hand, no, don't shoot me. Yeah, boom, same thing. Thumb disarm. Bam, boom, tap it, rack in, we create space and go. So we got that, right? So that's foundation gun disarm. So let's go over it again. Let's do it slow, talking through it, because I want you guys to get it at home. So here we go. We have this. So she goes redirect, right? Control, remove, take away, and then attack. There you go. All right, so now we have that. Now, does that change if I've got her pinned against a wall? Give me the cash, give me the cash. Nah, not really. Same thing, same thing. There are situations it will change. Nothing there. Well, now, what if, just for funsies, let's go over here to my handy-dandy car. Let's see if we can figure this out. That looks like a good spot there. Yay. Alrighty. All right, so now, this is what we commonly refer to as a car. And so, first thing we're going to look at is whenever you're approaching your car is be aware of what's around you, right? So, I don't know, the camera sets too possible for that part, but as you walk up, look at your car and pay attention to what's happening. Look under your car, look around you. Did somebody follow you to your car, right? So whenever you walk out of a store, look, are people just hanging out weirdly next to the store? Could be no big deal. Could be a big deal. If they skeeve you out, go back inside and get a manager to help you. If they don't, then just keep on walking inside or walk to your car, and if they leave at the same time, pay attention, keep an eye out. If they do, well, go back in the store or, pay attention to what you got to do. Well, now, what if, just for funsies, young Miss Evelyn is an evil bad guy? And what if it's a different scenario where I'm in my car? Hi, I'm in my car. And she points the gun at me. Whoa! Same technique. We should go, and then I'm going to drive away. Pretty simple. Now, what if she has the gun kind of behind me? That's hard to do, right? She can't really do that. So would it be natural for me to do one of a couple of things? The way this car is shaped and the way I have to sit in it because I'm kind of tall. What are you doing, man? I don't want to die. That's a terrible idea. What do I do? She's kind of far back. If I go here, can she jerk her arm back before I can stop it? Probably. So she points the gun there. Oh, what are you doing, man? I don't want to die. What do I do? Could I pin it here? Right? And then try to hit her? Get the knife away? I could, possibly. But that's less common. So if she comes, the gun knife is right here. She wants me to see it because she wants me to do something. Now, if she has the gun right there, well, what do you want? What do you want? I can take it. What if she asked me to get out of the car?
Out of the car.
Okay. I'm out of the car. Now what? Don't hurt me. Don't hurt me. I'm old, fragile. Boom, bam, and I got a free gun. That's also a viable possibility. Or, what if, I'll get the bad guy gun, she's kind of more here. Don't get in front of the camera. She's pointing at me that way. So could I from here, jam it against the steering wheel, right, and start hitting her arm, there, take it away. You can't. I'll be honest, I like this one where she has the gun here. Oh, I don't want to die, don't hurt me. I just take it. Because I'm not supposed to do that and it's fast. You can do other stuff, but that covers most of your problems. And it's also the exact same technique that we did a minute ago, right? So if you're here, she has the gun pointed at me. What are you doing? Boom. It's the same technique. I'm just doing them both at the same time. So as we have our 1, 2, 3, I'm doing 1, 2, 3. Rotate, pull, punch. You'll hear people talk about trying to break the finger. I'm not too worried about that. I'm going to pull it out like that because you'll certainly break someone's finger this way, but then the finger's not going to come off, and now you've got the gun stuck on their broken, mangled finger. I would rather just boom, twist it, pull it, and then punch her with it. And I'm tapping, racking, and creating space and leaving. So that's just an idea there on the gun. Notice that I'm going to keep the gun pointed at the bad guy the whole time. So if she comes at me, I can still punch her with it. Even while I'm tapping and racking, I'm keeping it pointed at the bad guy, because I can use it as a mechanical weapon at the very least. Even if I don't know that gun that well or whatever, doesn't matter. So there's a thought there. So now, that's just a little bit of an introduction into how we might use the same technique and the same tactics in your car against a wall. It doesn't change. It doesn't change, right? And there are more aspects to it. In fact, there's a lot more to that, but that's a good introduction to it. And we just have our base takeaway. And we have that same base takeaway that we can apply to numerous situations. And so there's that. Now, we do have, hang on one second. We do have our cheat sheet that has all of the information, all the pins and everything else we talked about today on our Women's Self-Defense Guidebook. And so if this is something you would like, then private message me or private message this page, Premier Martial Arts Asheville, and I'll send you a PDF of it, and you can have one. I'm not going to post it because I only want people to have this that are actually interested in having it. But anyway, I'll shoot this over to you if it's something that you would like. So there is that. If you have any questions about anything, feel free to ask me, so you can PM me or whatever. In the meantime, there's that. So keep an eye on our page. We have a lot of stuff going on, and it's looking like we'll open back up for live classes on the 8th under whatever stipulations they have. But we'll see. We're playing it by ear, man. We're doing our best. So anyway, you guys have a great rest of the weekend, and Ellen and I will see you in class.